aka PT Sports 84, back with another video. I wanted to go over the last two 2K24 official roster updates. I wasn't able to get a video out yesterday. My son was sick, so unfortunately, that happened, and luckily now he's okay. So, feeling a lot better. So I wanted to get a video out going through stuff for the modern era roster, which is the current roster. So we had some minor changes to some player faces being added. We have first one up is going to be Matt Ryan. So Matt Ryan gets an updated face here. There's his face scan. Right now he has a two-way contract offer by the Timberwolves out there. So if he accepts it, he'll be back on a two-way with them. We also get AJ Green of the Milwaukee Bucks. Anybody that has seen AJ Green knows that he does not have dark brown hair. But they remedied that with the fix of Style 2. What's up, Dopey Music? Style 2 has his correct hair here. So you can see that is a very good scan of AJ Green. So he's in the roster. We also have Cole Swider here of the Miami Heat, former Laker. He gets an official face as well. What's up, Big Man Sam? So Cole Swider gets an update to his face. And then that's all of the faces there's one more, excuse me. We also have Jack White of the OKC Thunder had his face updated as well. So you can see that there, that Jack White now has a face scan in the game. So that was remedied in the last update. So other things in the last two updates, they unlocked, where is he? Moses Brown, because this cap is awful. Previously, he was locked. Right now, he looks a cross between one of the worst caps I've seen and like something that somebody just threw as a placeholder. But he does not look like that at all. Last year, they had got his face out of the box, that created face a little bit better. It was still bad, but nothing like that. So what I think is there's a major bug going on with the cap faces. If you notice when you go to create a cap, it brings up the My Player Builder cap faces, and that's not normal. Normally, we don't get that screen, so I have no idea. I'd love to know if Moses Brown will get a scan. So, yeah, he's been in the league. This is, his fourth or fifth year, and so he doesn't have one, which is crazy. But also, if you remember, Drew Eubanks didn't have one for a while. He finally got a scan. There's other guys that don't have one as well. I know guys on Operation Sports in the Art Feedback thread complain a lot. But the player has to want to be scanned. And then for 2K, to be honest, with some of the players, like the two-way guys and things like that, it's a little bit less of a priority for them because those two-way players might get a deal overseas and not even be in the game anymore. So they don't really go after them per se unless they're already with a team at that time. So other news, the Spurs waived campaign, so they took him off the roster as well. Boban Marjanovic is back with the Rockets. He's added here. There was another signing in Jope Reith, the center out of LSU that played for the Portland Trailblazers during Summer League. If he makes the team, he will be added. Non-guarantee guys generally don't get added into the roster if they're not already in the out-of-the-box roster or the day one up roster until the opening night roster, just to confirm that they're able to be in the game. So that's the reason why they're not already in the roster to begin with. So that's why you don't see guys like Jalen Lawson, like Amani Bates, and things like that. They got to make sure that they're going to be on the roster. Being a two-way guy, it's a little bit more difficult uh, to determine if they're going to be there or not. Justin Champagnie was moved over to the Miami Heat. He was previously incorrectly on the Boston Celtics. They fixed Cody Buffkin's hand. He's now left-handed shooting in the game. And then not much else for the current teams outside of Tristan Thompson's back with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So he was immediately added because all they had to do was add him from the free agent pool, and then he would be there. So that's it for that. We go back over to the classic teams, and we get into they fixed Joel Anthony's 87 mid-range that's now fixed. They also added James Jones to the 12-13 Heat. Previously, if you watched my last video, you saw they added him to the 15-16 Cavaliers, but forgot to add him to the 12-13 Heat. One other thing that 2K I hope they look at is adding Dante Green to the Memphis Grizzlies because they need more players. Dante Green was signed on the last day of the season along with Willie Reed. So hopefully those get remedied there. And then that's, there wasn't a lot for the classic teams or anything for the eras or anything regarding that stuff that's new from my last video. But, like I said, pretty minor stuff there. But I want to go back to the current teams. Yeah, me too, big man Sam. I hope they do as well. So I want to go to the current teams and dive into the coaching staffs. They updated a good bit of the coaching staffs in today's update. Like Brian Gates was added, Kobe Carl was added to the Sixers. You get they fixed DJ Baker's last name. Terry Stotts was moved to the assistant coach, and then Baker was moved to the big man coach. They had those kind of flip-flops. Greg Buckner, same thing. They add him in, and they fixed his face. That's his official face there. So they fixed him and moved Sidney Lowe over there because Greg Buckner is the associate head coach for them. They didn't change anything for the Celtics. The Clippers, they did update the Grizzlies. You get Brad Jones moved over to wing whisperer. Anthony Carter moved over to perimeter D. You get Vitaly Potapenko with his actual face in there as well. Shout out to Razor for that. And those that didn't know, Razor posted his coaches that he worked on the faces. There's Joe Mazzulla, which he worked on. And then going through coaching wise, just other teams that added some new coaches as well. None of these have been newly added. Chad Forcier was added in to the Utah Jazz as a coach. They switched Evan Brads to big man since he was a 6'10" big man in college. That makes sense for him to be there. Nothing changed for the Kings, Knicks, or the Kings or Knicks. The Lakers, DeMarre Carroll is added to the roster as a defensive coach. The Magic don't have any changes. The Mavericks actually get some changes. Darryl Armstrong moved over to perimeter D coach. You get Alex Jensen moved in as a coach as well. Teddy Hart, you're welcome. They removed Peter Patton, who went on to go to the Chicago Bulls as the shooting coach. They don't have enough room because you can only get 6 assistants, even though they have 7 spots here. 6 show up on the bench whenever you go in to the teams. So that's why they didn't add Peter Patton to the team. They removed Jay Hernandez, uh, incorrect face. He had Tiago Splitter's face by accident, so they were able to update that and get it in there. For those that don't know, Jock Vaughn actually has an updated render with a beard in the game files. Someone posted that has the PC version and was able to like get into the files. He has a modded face or updated face that has a beard, so I'm hoping they add that and keep this one as the basically as the player model. So, Carlos, I'm not sure about that either. Nothing for the Nuggets. We get Jim Boylan. This was pretty cool because this is his face in the game. So that was cool to see Jim Boylan. Those Bulls fans that remember suffering through the years as Jim Boylan as their head coach, there he is again. Hopefully something doesn't happen to Rick Carlisle and he gets upgraded there. But I'm glad to see that they fixed the Indiana Pacers to have the correct coach there. We get Jerron Collins has an updated face. His render that was also done by Razor is there. He's the big man coach. They really did a good job. They got Aaron Miles added in as well to the team, so good to see that. We go over to the Pistons. Dan Burke is added as the defensive coach. We get Mark Bryant added as the big man post D coach. So that's good there. So they got all the coaches for the Pistons. Then we go over to Darko Rejakovic, which look at that face. It looks spot on. Great job by Razor on that one as well. And then we get all the coaches for the Raptors here. They were already the same. Same thing with the Rockets, the Spurs. Don't think we had any changes. Nope, none for the Suns. We did get minor changes for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They moved guys around to make sure they're in the right spots because they had like Eric Maynor as the big man coach and stuff like that. So I do agree, Adam Morrison does look great. I'd love them to do an Adam Morrison short hair, but I guess that wasn't like a priority. But you know, they could technically do it. My thought is they really need to get like the guys like Shannon Brown that his hair is wrong and stuff like that for the LeBron era. Like get that stuff those kind of things fixed first. Timberwolves, they don't have any changes to them. Nothing for the Blazers or the Warriors. They didn't have any needs to change. Last but not least, the Washington Wizards. James Posey is added to the team as a wing whisperer. Obviously, he has his face already in the game. And then we get Joseph Blair moved over to post D coach. So really good update. All the staff is updated for the current team. So now if you want to add assistants or anything like that or swap them out, you can always go into the generic coaches as we've always been able to, and then go from there. Lior, I don't know. Are you telling me he's going to be in, or are you asking me if he's going to be in? But anyway, so you can edit the appearance here of the player, and then from there, or the coach, and then from there, someone said he will be in. Who said he would be in? Lior, if you don't mind sharing. So you can change it here. You have the faces customizable. Oh, okay. Thank you. And then you have the faces that are already made by 2K. Some are actually either players or former coaches. So it's kind of cool that you can go in and use some of these that might look similar to a coach that you're trying to add in. What I would love is they get like Pat Riley, like a real Pat Riley or something like that, and you can utilize it within the game. But he's in the NBRPA, but they don't have authorization to use him for whatever reason. So I don't know why that is, but But anyway, yeah, and they have some new coach faces this year as well. So that's pretty cool that they have new faces, and you can basically go through and pick which one you want to use, essentially. So definitely, I'm definitely encouraged by the amount of faces that we can use, to create other coaches and stuff like that. Because I'm a big proponent about if a coach is similar looking or something like that, like that'll do for custom rosters if need be. You can try to get a created player or coach face as close as you can as well. So it just depends. So, but those are the faces that they have in. But yeah, so that's the updates. The big thing was the coaching staffs. I've sent feedback on the draft classes. I've sent feedback on era stuff. A cool thing, also, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but let me see if I can find a specific team. I'll have to find, let me go to more current teams. On the older teams, they added some of the assistants that were on that team. As you can see, Tom Thibodeau added there. So they added guys that they have coaching rights to the teams. Obviously, can't add the head coach because it was Jeff Van Gundy, but they don't have him. But where applicable, they try to add, new coaches and stuff. Malik Sealy's in the draft class. He was there last year too. Yeah, I saw that. Um, I went ahead and made a huge list of who's missing and who needs to be added to the list for the draft classes. I went through every draft class in the game and added in who would be eligible to be in the draft class based on other modes. If the player's not in another mode, then you can't add them, or they won't be able to add them. But for example, like Sergio Rodriguez is in the Mamba Moments, he should be out of the draft class so that way we can export them and use them how we choose for custom rosters, like that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, Tom Thibodeau added there. You see Brian Shaw as an assistant there. Same, another Tom Thibodeau there. I have a massive list thanks to another user on Twitter that sent it to me. He sent me a massive list of all the assistant coaches for all the teams and the eras and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool and nice of him to do to get in his feedback. But anyway, that wraps up this video. I hope everybody enjoyed it. If anybody sent me any feedback throughout this video, if you don't mind DMing me on Twitter, let me know what that feedback is. I'll try to compile it and get it over to 2K for a future fix. In the meantime, please smash that like button. If you like this content and you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Trying to get to 5K this year by the end of 2K24. So if you can help me get to the road to 5K, that would be super awesome if you haven't already subbed. If you have, thank you so much. Be back with another video once 2K drops another roster update and I can go through it and figure out what's added and all that stuff. But in the meantime, hope everybody stays safe and enjoys the rest of their day. Thanks so much.